Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. So, I wanted to go over our LDR relationship because it's been just a little over 6 months now, and I've been to the Philippines twice. I came for 1 month in the end of May and most of June, and then the second time, as you probably have seen, I came with my son Max for 2 weeks in October. And what I want to share with you is the beauty of the Philippines, the beauty of the people, but also how to handle yourself over there because it's a completely different place to any Western country, and 90% of the people are probably below middle class. So it's an eye opener of sorts, but also you learn to really feel gratitude for what you do have in the Western country. And we have welfare systems and Medicare, and the Philippines is just so big. There's so many people, and there's a lot fewer resources to go around. And the people over there have to be very resourceful. The family units have to be so tight because there's nothing else to fall back on. The family is the most important thing, and at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. And I realize for Filipinas, they want to, the ones that are interested in foreigners, they're looking for a better life, but it's not only for them, it's for their family too. And I realized that early on, and, I had to have a good hard look at myself. And because when you're watching all these YouTube videos, especially made by Americans, they're warning you, don't visit their family in the first year, don't live near their family, don't bring her back to your country. Like, it's almost like there's a warning against anything. And basically, if you watch enough YouTube videos, your brain just gets littered with all this rubbish that other people have been through, but that's got nothing to do with my own journey. My own journey is what is ahead of me every day, the next day, living the present and planning for the future. And the other problem I had with all this advice online was, they're not going into this with a pure heart. The first thing they're worried about is getting ripped off or scammed. And can you imagine if you were a Filipino in a Filipino family, and a foreigner comes over and he's interested in your daughter or your sister, but he doesn't want to meet you, he doesn't want to get to know you, he's trying not to spend money on the family. He just basically wants to grab your daughter or your sister, scoop her up and take her away, and act like money isn't a part of it all. But you try and name a country where money isn't a part of it. In Australia, it's a part of it. All over the world, men are paying for a lot of what's going on in relationships. Why should it be any different? Oh, is it because there's some Filipinos out there that are desperate for a foreigner because their families are on the poverty line? Like, it's such a big problem with all this online advice these days. You know, these Filipino families, yeah, they're struggling, but it doesn't take much to help them. And, you're probably not going to help them forever. And, a little bit of money you might help them with is money you would have been spending on dates or Gucci bags or Louis Vuitton stuff if you had a Western woman anyway. I think it all kind of levels itself out. If you're going to do the right thing by a Filipino family, like, try and help lift them up, is my feeling. Like, I'm not going over there just to snatch their prize daughter and then, they might only see me once every 10 years. For me, a Filipina, from what I understand, they're so connected to their family. And also from my past experience, I was married to a Russian woman and she settled over in Australia and lived here for years. And she was just getting more and more homesick every year to the point where nothing I could do, it felt like, would make her happy. And, the relationship just whittled away. I feel like I don't want to do that again. I don't want to ask a woman to be away from her direct family for the rest of her life, especially a Filipina, because Filipino families are so close. Yeah, so that's why I've decided that I want to spend at least half a year every year over in the Philippines and ongoing, probably more and more. It's just all depends on what's going to happen with my gym over here because I've spent the last 15 to 20 years as a martial arts coach in my little gym here, and my dream has been to get fighters into the UFC, and I've come close a few times, but so far it just hasn't worked out yet. And there was one point where I had more than 10 professional fighters, and now I've got like 2 amateur fighters. I've still got the same amount of students, but it just feels like these days there's a lot less fighters ready to go than what there used to be. Or other gyms are attracting them better than me. There has been a few pop up in my city recently that seem to have more attraction. And that's the way the world works, My gym, we had our glory day, and it's very hard to stay on top. So I'm happy with the system that we're teaching and everything, and I feel like I've got the boys there who can at least temporarily look after my gym while I go on this 5 or 6 month trip to Philippines. And they've seen me go through the ringer over the last few years. I think they'll be happy to support me for that period of time. Anyway, back to the Filipinos. What beautiful people! Like, if I start breaking into a sweat because it's a hot day, Mama and Papa and Rhea will start scrambling around looking for a towel. Whoever gets a towel will just grab that towel and go right up inside my shirt, drying the sweat off before it becomes a sweat mark on the shirt. Like, I can't express the love and generosity that I feel from Rhea's family enough. They've made me feel like part of the family from the very first day. And there's never been an issue, you know. I just can't imagine being any luckier, you know. Rhea, her family, yeah, I don't know if I hit the jackpot or not, but it just, and I don't know if we actually have the one out there, Rhea and I met online, and I had tried talking to dozens of Filipinas before I met Rhea, but within a day or so, we just were talking so much and so well that we both said to each other, "Let's stop talking to other people." And from that day on, we've been pure, honest, and open with each other, and it's been an amazing ride so far. 6 months in, it's been an amazing ride. Yeah. So we've got our house being built right now, which is right next to Mama and Papa's house. And I know a lot of American YouTubers would curse me out for doing that, but why would I want to take her away from her family when, you know, more than 50% of what makes her happy is to be around her family? And why would I want to alienate her from her family? Why would I want to alienate her family from her why would I want to cause a rift? If I cause a rift with them, then I cause a rift with myself. And also, her family is so helpful and generous. Like, every day is like having, like I'm part of a team. We all work together over there, and obviously I'm the guest over there, so they try to make sure I don't have to lift a finger. And, I'm always trying to help if I can because I don't want to be, lazy for the rest of my life. That's probably the hardest thing to deal with is they don't want me to help out. They want me to just stay relaxed, but maybe that'll change once I'm actually living there for a longer period of time because both times that I've been there were basically a holiday. So yeah, the house is being built and it's going up really quick actually. We've been really lucky with the weather because there was a typhoon just ending and then the boys started the build and then there was 1 or 2 afternoons of rain from another typhoon hanging around, but then the next day was sunny, so they've got the pillars in and the footings and the first 3 courses of hollow blocks, I believe, and it's going up really quick. And it's just under a month now until I arrive over there, and I have a feeling that it's going to be finished or almost finished by the time I get there. Stay tuned for more photos of that and videos. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.